Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of Electric Avenue's YouTube updates. We're doing the new releases today for October 25th, 2024. A lot of stuff coming out this week. This is sort of the time that the labels gear up for holiday releases and the big Christmas sales. So let's hope we have them this year. Uh, as I've said before, election years are always sort of iffy because people are so focused on what's going on with the government that it's hard to sometimes remember, hey, there's like new records coming out. So thanks for paying attention to these because I know it is a time commitment to sit through some of these things. I do post the pictures on social media. I'm a little bit better about Facebook than Instagram, but and I don't even do TikTok, so probably to my fault. But one day, one day. I wanted to also mention I did my civic duty this morning, got out and voted. You guys can do that too. I'm sure there's early voting wherever you are if you want to get out and do that now. I just was trying to avoid the long lines that usually happen on election day. But it kind of depends on where you're at too. So yeah, go ahead and vote. Rock the vote, right? Does everyone remember that? Who was like around in like the 90s, 80s, and 90s? I guess it was 80s maybe when MTV was sort of doing Rock the Vote. Or maybe that must have been early 90s. I don't know. That's a long, distant memory at this point. So anyway, okay, new releases for today. And up first, I usually do the box set type things first. Up first this week, Green Day with the American Idiot box set. This is an 8 LP 2 Blu-ray edition of this featuring the demos for the American Idiot album, the B-sides and bonus tracks, and Live at Irving Plaza. Um, Really nice set. They've really sort of been outdoing themselves with these. 20th anniversary. Hard to believe. Super deluxe numbered limited edition 8 LPs on color vinyl and 2 Blu-rays. The color vinyl are, I think they're like sort of split kind of colors. Um, Almost 4 hours of video too. 57 tracks. The 4 hours of video on the Blu-ray include 20 years of American Idiot, a 2 hour documentary, a Heart Like a Hand Grenade film live at the BBC, and a 36-page book including American Idiot Red Tie and Green Day Flag. If you want these, you're going to have to let me know because I'm not going to have a bunch of these just sitting around the store because they're about $200. So, but they are, it's really nice. Nice gift for the Green Day fans at Christmas. We may actually get them more sort of regular as we get closer to the holiday, but the first wave is being sort of grabbed. And then if you'd rather not spend quite so much and just get a CD box set, they do make these as well. This is about $70 and it's all the same material on 4 CDs and the 2 Blu-rays. So there is that. Okay, to regular stuff. Pardon me. Let's see. Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, and this is a live album at the Fillmore, 1969. It's probably just old tapes that they found that were like, hey, these would probably be great if we could release these, and they had other live records out, so I could see why they sort of didn't want to compete against their own live records. But this is a previously unreleased live Fillmore East recording from September 20th, 1969, featuring Sweet Judy Blue Eyes, Blackbird, Helplessly Hoping, Guinevere, Lady of the Island, Go Back Home, On the Way Home, 4 plus 20, Our House, I've Loved Her So Long, You Don't Have to Cry, Long Time Gone, Wooden Ships, Bluebeard Revisited, Sea of Madness, Down by the River, and Find the Cost of Freedom. Rhino put this out. Very cool. I think that's going to do really well. Good holiday release for them. Neil is constantly putting stuff out, so it's nice to have something that has a few other people. Another thing that this actually came out last week, but we just got the 2 LP edition, is Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Long After Dark. Last week we got the 1 LP turquoise vinyl indie exclusive. This one is the 2 LP. This one still features the album You Got Lucky, Change of Heart, and Straight into Darkness. And that's on 180 gram, newly remastered. Then 12 rediscovered tracks, including 7 previously unreleased, featuring Never Be You. Also has Don't Make Me Walk the Line, Heartbreakers Beach Party extended version, Ways to Be Wicked from the Denver sessions, One on One and Wild Thing, among other things. This was featured, the Cameron Crowe documentary was playing in theaters last weekend for a couple of days, and it's gone already. So it'll probably be streaming soon, but for people who saw it, they said it was a really great treat to see young Tom playing live and stuff that you obviously won't see anymore in the flesh. Anyway, all right. This finally out on vinyl. I had numerous requests when it started streaming. Eminem, Death of Slim Shady, Coup de Grace, 2 LP, 1 red opaque, 1 blue opaque vinyl. I guess it sort of got somewhat mixed reviews, but it is Eminem, and his audience is sort of a built-in fan base. So anyway, that's out, Eminem fans. And then also for Green Day fans, if you don't want the big edition, you just want a new remastered version of American Idiot, this is the newly remastered version with the sort of alternate cover art. It doesn't have their name on the cover. Does have the sticker, but 2 LPs pressed on red and black splatter vinyl. So for collectors, you might want that. It's a different color vinyl, I believe, than the album that's in the set. So, and then another sort of reissue thing that they're doing, we're getting Queen, the first album, and Queen 1. This is 180 gram black vinyl, brand new 2024 mix of the debut album from the multi-track masters, reinstating Mad the Swine for the first time. So apparently that had been cut from the track list originally. So there you go. Queen 1. Yeah. This one, actually, Queen 1 has Keep Yourself Alive, and I think, is that the one sort of big hit from that? The 7 Seas of Rye. It's not really like their most well-known record. I think a lot of people probably bought it because it's like, hey, it's Queen, and then realize that there really aren't any like hit songs on it necessarily, and then no big hits. Another great sort of kind of a mix of archival and new. It's Tears for Fears, and this is their new album, Songs for a Nervous Planet. What this is it's a live record, but 4 brand new songs appear on here as well. This features 4 new songs: Say Goodbye to Mom and Dad, The Girl That I Call Home, Emily Said, and Astronaut. And then the rest, I believe, is live stuff. This is the Indie Store Cocoa Cream vinyl, and featuring live performances of Shout, Head Over Heels, Everybody Wants to Rule the World, Mad World, Sowing the Seeds of Love, Pale Shelter, Break It Down Again, Change. Great live record stuff. This cover was apparently made with like an AI program, which was sort of like controversial, I suppose, but I don't know, it's a cool cover. Anyway, people are going to do what people are going to do. New Brian Ferry. So this is a new sort of compilation of old stuff, and there's one new song on this. Select recordings from 1973 to 2023. Well, he hasn't made a solo record in about 10 years, so it's kind of a shame that we only get one new song. Um, but it does have his versions of Dylan's Knocking on Heaven's Door and Make You Feel My Love. It has his version of Johnny and Mary, the Robert Palmer song with Todd Terje. It also has things like Slave to Love, Don't Stop the Dance, Let's Stick Together. It's Brian's solo stuff. Um, uh, there's that, and then if you really want to go dig deep into Brian Ferry solo, there's a CD box set of that, which is $135 for 5 CDs and an 81 page or 81 track career spanning box set, including a disc of rarities and unreleased recordings, plus a 100-page book with extensive liner notes and 50 years of exquisite photography. So there's that, right? So there's quite a bit in the box set. There's also a single CD version of this. Well, I don't know. He did interesting. There's a disc of interpretations on here. I didn't know he did Fooled Around and Fell in Love by Stephen Bishop, but he does Song to the Siren, which I think he did release that somewhere. Things like The Way You Look Tonight, You Go to My Head, Girl of My Best Friend, Hold On, I'm Coming, Just One Look, Shame, 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 The Price of Love. So it's best of compositions, songs that he wrote, interpretations, things with the Brian Ferry Orchestra, and rare and unreleased. Rare and unreleased, Don't Be Cruel, Crazy Love, Whatever Gets You Through the Night, Fool for Love, Is Your Love Strong Enough? I don't know how rare that is, but it's not on one of his albums, and that's a great song. It probably should have been. Okay. If you've seen Legend, I think it was the song from that movie. Yeah. On that note, another sort of archival release, Lou Reed. Yes, this is actually Lou Reed. Young Lou Reed right there. And this is Why Don't You Smile Now? Lou Reed at Pickwick Records, 1964 to 65. So kind of before Pickwick became like the sort of dreaded reissue label that it became. Lou Reed was sort of like a brill building composer for Pickwick Records, and these are songs that he wrote for other artists that then recorded them. So pre-Velvet Underground, this is from the vaults. Laurie Anderson, his wife, sort of found these tapes in his vault, and it has things by the Primitives, where they do the Ostrich and Sneaky Pete. The Beach Nuts do Cycle Annie. The High Lifes do I'm Gonna Fight and Soul City. Ronnie Dickerson does Oh No, Don't Do It and Love Can Make You Cry. So these are people that, you probably haven't heard of too much, but he does a lot of sort of kind of like rock and roll stuff. It's pretty cool. This is put out by Light in the Attic. It's number 3 in the Lou Reed archival series. There was the one of early Velvet Underground demos that came out, and there's also the one of sort of meditative music, I guess sort of mantras and things like that. Let me put that down. Okay, that was getting heavy. All right. Charlie Parker, Bird in Kansas City. This is actually another new release this week. This is on Verve Records. This new set of previously unreleased rarities reveals Charlie Parker's transformation as a musician. Recorded between 1941 and 51 in his hometown of Kansas City, these recordings chronicle Parker's evolution from a blossoming soloist with the Jay McShann Band into a brilliant improviser who dominated after-hours jam sessions. So it's pretty cool finding unreleased Charlie Parker stuff. There's 3 versions of Birdsong at the beginning. Cherokee, Body and Soul, Honeysuckle Rose, Perdido. You can look that up online. That's cool for the jazzers. Another cool one, a reissue of this East Broadway Rundown by Sonny Rollins. This is on Verve Acoustic Sounds. And this is an album, I think it's a little bit later for him, featuring Freddie Hubbard, Elvin Jones, and Jimmy Garrison. And what year did this come out originally? 1967. So, not that much later, but East Broadway Rundown, Sonny Rollins. Sometimes you see these classics and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I've ever seen this. Probably never see it again. Ed Sheeran is a live record, plus minus equal divide times the tour collection. And these are tour performances from all of Ed's tours that features the A-Team, Lego House, Give Me Love, Sing, Don't, Castle on the Hill, Shape of You, Perfect, I Don't Care with Justin Bieber, Beautiful People with Khalid, Eyes Closed, stuff from different tours. So, but it's kind of like a greatest hits live. Ed Sheeran fans, take note. New album from Soccer Mommy. And this is her album, Indie Store exclusive, autographed limited edition, sky blue marble vinyl. It's been a couple years for her. Actually, the Ed Sheeran doesn't have, I don't know what color that is. This features, I don't know, a bunch of new songs. Produced by Ben Allen the third. He's sort of a renowned producer down in, I think it's Georgia is where his studio is. I know he worked with Belle and Sebastian at one point. I want to say, like, I can't remember who else. A lot of alternative rock people. Halsey and her new album, is The Great Impersonator. And so all of the kind of imagery for this album is like her impersonating other artists that she loves or finds interesting. I've seen pictures of her as like Bjork and Aaliyah and, you know, lots of different people. But there's 18 tracks on this. A lifelong performance by Halsey. I'm not sure who produced this. The last one I know Trent Reznor had a big hand in, but I don't think he's involved with this one, or not as much. Maybe not as much. New record from James Blake and Lil Yachty. As a cool combination there, right? And this album is called, what is it called? It's called Bad Cameo, that's right. This is the purple translucent vinyl indie exclusive. If you're sort of following Lil Yachty's career, you know his last record was probably, I don't know, might be one of the biggest that he's had, because he sort of made a shift towards like, kind of like more alternative rock stuff. And James Blake is sort of an interesting kind of atmospheric sort of electronica artist, singer-songwriter. So them together, kind of an interesting duo. The new album from Amyl and the Sniffers. I don't know if I can show that. She's sort of blurred out. This is their album, Doing in Me Lungs. Well, this is a Doing in Me Lungs edition. Cartoon Darkness. So, yeah, the color of the vinyl is the Doing in Me Lungs edition. Featuring Chewing Gum, You Should Not Be Doing That, Big Dreams, and Jerkin. They're sort of punk rocky, I suppose, would be the best sort of. Definitely on the rockier side. Yeah. Bailing on Me, Me and the Girls, Tiny Bikini, Motorbike Song. You get that picture. New album from Beth Hart, longtime sort of singer-songwriter with kind of a bluesy, rough edge. She's the one who did the Led Zeppelin comeback album a couple years ago that had orchestrated versions of Zeppelin songs with her singing. Amazing record. Like, she really, really sang those as good as Robert Plant. It's really, like, aggressive. And the weird thing about that was I think that she actually was recording to, like, basically, like, kind of guides. Like she didn't really have the full orchestrations or anything. She just sang the songs in parts, and then the producer put them together, and it was mind blowing. Anyway, You Still Got Me. It's the name of her new solo record featuring Slash and Eric Gales. So we're going kind of blues rock now. Limited edition transparent red vinyl. Uh, Looks like 11 new songs. Um, yeah. So I think her profile has definitely elevated since that last record. A new Pixies album. This is called, what's the name of this too? Man, they're not printing these on the cover. When the Zombies Came. This is the indie version of this. It's a limited edition crystal and red smoky vinyl. It's kind of interesting how the cover has sort of a cutout with the label in the center and the song titles. Makes it almost feel more like a 12-inch single than an album. This has Emma Richardson on bass guitar and backing vocals. So another new member. They sort of switched I think the woman that had been, I don't think that's the same woman. I think that they switched like that position again, the Kim Deal position. Kim has a solo record coming out too. So anyway, still Black Francis, Joey Santiago, and Dave Lovering. New Pixies record. So, Pixies been around since the 80s, right? And since the 90s, 311 and their new album. Full Bloom, first album in 5 years, featuring the radio charting single You're Gonna Get It and Need Somebody and Full Bloom. And this, I'm not sure what color vinyl this is either. But I think this is like some indie color or something. It's hard to tell, especially when they don't put stickers on the cover. Kind of one of my favorite singer-songwriter, younger. She was younger. Now she's been doing this for over a decade. So, but Laura Marling, Patterns and Repeat, and her last album was a album about her child that she just had, and this one I think sort of continues that feel a little bit. So anyway, there's songs called Lullaby, Child of Mine, but she's a great singer-songwriter. If you're kind of in the sort of Joni Mitchell, like appreciating that, I suggest you check out Laura Marling. She has, at this point, maybe 6 or 7, 8 albums, and a couple also with the duo Lump. She's great. She got her started with, not her start, but I think her second record she did with Marcus Mumford, or Mumford and Sons, and then they sort of broke off and exploded, and she kept doing her thing. So, but she's done all right. Let's see, this is a great album, new album, Fantagram, getting a lot of press. Mystery vinyl color for the indie retail. You don't know what color this is. Memory of a Day is the name of it. This actually, I think, came out a week or 2 ago. We finally got the vinyl for it. Yeah, I think they're a duo, sort of electronica, but sort of unconventional electronica. It's supposed to be a very good album. Can't wait to hear that. And also, this is another one, sort of a little late straggler, Chat Pile, and their album Cool World. If you're into sort of like hardcore or metal or whatever, this is sort of a much talked about. I would say them along with like Blood Incantation, sort of like those are the bands that people are sort of talking about a lot in that scene right now. Interpol and a reissue. We're getting some reissues now. Antics, this was their second album. This is reissued on red vinyl. This is the 20th anniversary. Boy, when post-punk becomes retro. 20th anniversary, Interpol, Antics. Really good album. Probably about as good as the first one, actually. Turn on the bright lights. Yes. Well, we're getting the last of the Rocktober, the Rhino Rocktober here. Yes. Yes singles 2. So last year we got Yes singles 1. Had things like stuff from Fragile and Close to the Edge and up to Owner of a Lonely Heart. This one is blue and white splatter vinyl featuring Sweetness, Going for the One, Rhythm of Love, and more. Has Love Find a Way, it Can Happen. It's a lot of stuff from 90125. But yeah, that's a pretty cool double set of singles. So I mean, sometimes you kind of forget that the singles for Yes, sometimes the mixes were different, or yeah, things had to be shortened a lot in many cases because the album tracks were so long. This is something I think that I don't know if people know is coming out, and it's kind of sort of bittersweet considering what's been happening with Jane's Addiction. But Porno for Pyros, this Perry Farrell's other band. Uh, is it Farrell or Farrell? I never did really figure that out. Their latest and greatest. It's called Pyrotechnics. So Porno for Pyros, his other band, it has the 30th anniversary Daniel Avery remix of the hit song Pets, which was their biggest hit, I think. Includes 3 new recordings: Fingernail, Little Me, and Agua. First collection of hits and rarities from the band started by Jane's Addiction members Perry Farrell and Stephen Perkins. So there you go. This is another Rocktober release. We had so much action with Rocktober this year. It's great. This one, Foghat Live. So I guess this album is fairly easy to get. If you find it used, I have it from time to time. But this is their best-selling certified double platinum album. This features I Just Want to Make Love to You, Fool for the City, and the 8-minute version of Slow Ride on transparent orange vinyl. And one of my customers is featured in the cover art of this somewhere. I think it's in the inside. He's like in a shot in the back seat of a car, and he used to hang around with Foghat. So anyway, yeah, this is transparent orange vinyl, so collector's item. It's kind of cool. Also, another Archival Iron Butterfly, and this is live at Fillmore East 1968. And this is a Scorching Live Performances. First time on vinyl, includes Inagata Devita. So it's kind of cool to have that on vinyl. What else? Are You Happy? Unconscious Power, My Mirage, Solo, Stamped Ideas, and the Iron Butterfly theme. So, everyone knows Inagata Devita is so long that it's taking up probably most of side 2 there. Foreigner and Double Vision. It's another Rocktober item. I don't know why this didn't come out when the other Foreigner one came out, Ahead Games. This is the 7 times platinum second album from 1978. On translucent grape vinyl, includes the hits Hot Blooded, Double Vision, and Blue Morning, Blue Day. So big records. And then also another Rocktober, The Cars, Door to Door. And this was their sort of last of the run of albums in the 80s that they had. Kind of a, I won't say a disappointment, but it didn't sell as well at all as Heartbeat City, the one before that had all the big hits on it. This was the original lineup's last album. Featured You Are the Girl, which was a catchy song. Strap Me In, which I think is a really cool song. And Coming Up You. What else is on this? Anyway, Cars. I think, yeah, right. It wasn't long after this that Ben Orr passed away, and then now Rick is gone. So kind of tragic, actually. That band was really, they were a lot of fun. Music on Vinyl puts out a deluxe reissue of Boz Scaggs, the album Silk Degrees. You can find this album pretty much anywhere used, but this is a limited edition translucent blue color vinyl featuring Lowdown, Lido Shuffle, What Can I Say, and It's Over. I would say this is probably Boz's, no, it definitely has to be his best-selling album. It's the one I see the most, and we have it quite frequently used. So anyway, that's a collector's piece. White Snake, Into the Light. And this is an album from 2020. This is a 2000 solo album. um, that Dave Coverdale did. I think, well, it says 2 LP edition of David Coverdale's 2000 solo album. A 2024 remix includes Love is Blind and Don't You Cry, produced by Dave Coverdale, revisited, remixed, and remastered. So, for some reason, he must not have liked the original version of this. So, it's out and it's fixed for some reason. Okay. Ugh, sorry, guys. I have to keep moving these. There's so many new records. I'm telling you. Okay. One of these, hopefully it doesn't go to an hour. New Rat reissues. We get Invasion of Your Privacy, which was the second album, including Lay It Down and You're in Love on black, gray, and white vinyl. And we also get Dancing Undercover, which is their third album, including Dance and Body Talk on limited red, white, and black stripe vinyl. Also, we get the third album, which is Detonator. Oh, I'm sorry, this is the fifth album, Detonator. I'm all out of whack here. There's too many records. Detonator's the fifth album, including Loving You's a Dirty Job and Giving Yourself Away on red vinyl. And then the fourth album, Reach for the Sky. And this is has Way Cool Jr. That song was a big hit. I Want a Woman on limited edition white vinyl. So there's a lot of Rat out there. Now you're probably wondering, well, where's Out of the Cellar? That was supposed to come out this week, and it got bumped to November 8th. So it is still coming. It's just not here yet. Another album of that era that was pretty popular, Great White, and the album Once Bitten. This is white vinyl featuring Rock Me, Lady Red Light, and Gonna Getcha. First couple Great White albums sold bucket loads. This is the hair metal era, right? Them and Rat. Do I call it hair metal? I guess that's the term. Mudhoney, and a reissue of their self-titled album on its 35th anniversary. And this is a clear white and blue pressing. And it features This Gift, Flat Out Effed, Get Into Yours, You Got It, Magnolia Caboose, Baby Shit. Yeah, Mudhoney. Extremely influential type artist. And still making records, right? He's got his Sonic Youth t-shirt on. I think Nirvana were big Mudhoney fans. Anyway. And another one of the same. This is, I think, their second album. 30th anniversary of Same As It Ever Was by House of Pain. And I think I just put out the first album, the one with Jump Around, Fine Malt Lyrics. That one... I think it was under $20. It was on sale. So this one is yellow vinyl, 32, featuring Same As It Ever Was, Running Up On Ya, and Back From the Dead. And also includes a bonus 7-inch green vinyl featuring the On Point and Legend remixes, which is probably why it's a little more, because it's got that 7-inch in there. It's kind of a limited edition, folks. So if you want some vintage hip-hop, another interesting release from Brian Setzer Orchestra. This is the album Guitar Slinger. It's first time on vinyl since 1996. So what is that? 28 years. And this is looks like a silver, kind of a silver vinyl, featuring This House Is Rockin', Hoodoo Voodoo Doll, Town Without Pity, Rumble in Brighton. Setzer's amazing. I mean, he's been doing this for so long, and he really did kind of keep that ethos of the rockabilly and the 50s. Anyway, Johnny Taylor, a reissue on Craft Recordings, One Step from the Blues, 12 heartbreaking songs of passion and betrayal from the Soul Philosopher, featuring Steal Away, Cheaper to Keeper, Stop Dogging Me, and the Hayes Porter penned I Had a Dream. It's got new liner notes. This is Stax put this out originally. Johnny Taylor. Great old soul stuff. finally getting reissued. Another cool soul record getting reissued, Antoine Fats Domino. And this is like a big collection thing for him. This is a red, white, and black vinyl edition. A true pioneer of rock and roll music. Includes the Grammy Hall of Fame hits Blueberry Hill, Ain't That a Shame, Walkin' to New Orleans, and the vinyl has been out of print and unavailable until now. Collector's edition, the Blue Highway Collection. And it's got a very extensive track list here. So if you want some good fats, Jambalaya on the Bayou, I'm Walking, The Fat Man, Josephine, Whiskey Heaven, Your Cheating Heart. A lot more. So that was from, I think Culture Factory did that. They did these next couple reissues. The Elders. The Elders are, this is Looking for the Answer. Very cool cover art. This is on a yellow vinyl and transparent. This is 1970s Dayton, Ohio's underground garage rock scene, featuring the extremely rare original cover art. The vinyl has been out of print and unavailable until now, whatever that means. But yeah, it's old, 1971. The Elders, garage rock. Another cool Culture Factory thing. This is Moanin' and Groanin'. Get that right. This is by George Tipton, Joseph Tinker Lewis, and Charles Mal Scott. I think they're sort of known by Tip and Tinker. That's such a great photo, isn't it? This is one pressing worldwide, green vinyl, translucent, vintage soul. Again, it says vinyl has been out of print and unavailable till now. This is done 1957. So really old soul stuff. Mean Muddy River, Groovin' High, I'm on My Way, Big Red. It's interesting. The track listing looks a little bit slightly different than what it does on the record compared to what they have on the label there. But yeah, cool. I wonder, like, if they had issues getting some of the tapes or whatever. This was released by Charlie Records, though, in 2008, so it's not the first time that's been reissued. Okay. A couple of Ian Hunter reissues. His stuff is great, especially this era. This is Mott the Hoople's lead singer. The guy's still making records, and he's like 85 years old, and I think he was touring until recently, but this album's called You're Never Alone with a Schizophrenic. This is a great album. 2024 expanded edition, remastered at Air Mastering, 180 gram double vinyl, rare bonus tracks. This features the original version of Ships that became a popular hit for Barry Manilow later. It's a great song. Also Just Another Night's on here. Cleveland Rocks. Everybody knows that song from TV. Life After Death, Standing in My Light. Some of the bonus tracks, When the Daylight Comes, Ship's early version, The Outsider early version. So that's kind of cool. And I think I think it's color vinyl too. I want to say this is yellow vinyl. It doesn't say on the outside, but I think the images of the order the picture on the order said it's color. And I think this one might be green. This is Ian Hunter's Short Back and Sides, which is another great album. These are late 70s records, remastered at Air Mastering, double vinyl. This one features it's a pretty rockin' album, but Central Park and West, Lisa Likes Rock and Roll, I Need Your Love, Old Records, Never Die. It's just a great album. Produced by Mick Ronson, I believe. Yeah, Mick Ronson and Mick Jones. Interesting producers. I mean, people, they just love Ian Hunter and Mott the Hoople. Martin Briley plays on this. Who else? Well, Mick Ronson plays on a lot of it. Topper Headon if you're into like the Clash, Ellen Foley. So yeah, that's a great album. Todd Rundgren does bass and background vocals on "I Need Your Love." A lot of people. Mixed by Bob Clearmountain, David Tickle. David Tickle did a lot of stuff. Bluey, Rug Island. It's the new Bluey record. 16 brand new tracks from Joff Bush and the Bluey music team, including Octopus, Onesies, and the Bluey theme tune vocal version. So Bluey fans, get your Bluey. I don't know how that's going to do. It seemed like Bluey sort of had a big sort of blow up a couple years ago, and it sort of calmed down a little bit in the at least record department. A couple of Christmas records. Ben Folds' Slayer, Sleighher, and this is the Christmas record from Ben Folds featuring the singles "We Could Have This," "Christmas Time Rhyme," and an intimate take on the timeless classic, "The Christmas Song." Limited edition Coke bottle clear vinyl, one-time pressing, autographed by Ben. Also features "The Bell That Couldn't Jingle," which was a Burt Bacharach song, and "Little Drummer Bolero" is the first song on there. Another Christmas record. I mean, we've been getting a few of these. "Tower of Power" with "It's Christmas," and Tower of Power, great horn band full of horns. It's still Emilio Castillo on tenor and lead vocals. Yeah, it's like kind of the same sort of setup. Joe Vanelli. Let's see. So they do the Christmas song, "This Christmas," "Very Special Christmas," "Hark the Herald Angels Sing." So it's kind of a mix of standards. "Mary, Did You Know," "Santa Claus is Coming to Town." Mix of standards and traditional, if you like brass music. All right, I think that's mostly it for vinyl. I got some CDs, and some of these are available on vinyl, or they're coming. The new Amethyst Kia album, and this is called "Still Bright." And it's been a little bit for her, a couple years, but she's a great sort of singer-songwriter. Chuck Prophet and his new album called "Wake the Dead." This is featuring, I think, some Latin vibes or something. I'm not really sure. "Wake the Dead," "Red Sky Night," and "First Came the Thunder" are songs on here. But those, I think, are available on vinyl. Sammy Kershaw's Muscle Shoals. Sammy Kershaw is a long-time sort of country artist, and he's doing a bunch of cover songs. "Mustang Sally," "Baby Don't Get Hooked on Me," "I'd Rather Go Blind," "When a Man Loves a Woman," "I'm Your Puppet," "Patches," "Hey Jude." Sammy Kershaw. The Fray are back with a new EP, and the album is called "The Fray Is Back." Features 6 songs, so it's a little bit cheaper than most releases, but it's been a long time since the Fray had something out. Slint, a reissue of their album "Tweez." This was the first Slint record, and I believe the vinyl is coming too, but this is fall of 1987 stuff, so kind of early for Slint, but if you're into Spiderland, you might want to look into Tweez if you haven't heard that. Reissue of Ringo Starr. This is Live at the Greek Theater 2019. He's got a new country album coming out in early January, and he's about 84, 85. This is the same 2-disc and a Blu-ray that came out a couple years ago, but it's in this cool like little book format now instead of the kind of fold-out digipack things. Charlie XCX, a new CD deluxe edition. So last 2 weeks ago, we got the Brat remix. So we've had Brat, and then we've gotten the remix on CD, not the vinyl. The vinyl of this is coming in a couple of weeks, but this is the deluxe CD. So this features the extra songs that were left off of Brat the first time out. So this is Brat, and it's the same, but there's 3 more songs, so it's not. and it tells you that's the name of the album on the cover. It does feature the song Guess, but I don't think it's the version with Billie Eilish because I think that's on the remix, which is coming later. Basically, if you're a Charlie XCX fan, you have to buy like everything that comes out because they're all different somehow. Duran Duran doing the reissue thing with Dance Macabre. This is the CD that came out last year as a kind of gray and black cover, now red and black. And this features a couple bonus tracks. Actually, I think the CD might feature, this features like a few. But it does have the new version of New Moon on Monday. And probably most notably, it does have their new remake of Evil Woman, the ELO song, which is actually kind of catchy. And they do something called Mask of the Pink Death, which is, I think that's like kind of a Nick Rhodes, might be like a instrumental. I think the super deluxe version of that was on vinyl was like $200 or $300, so we weren't really carrying that. But I think it's maybe sold out for a while. You could get it from their store, but him. When Love and Death Embrace, best of 97 to 2003. This is available on vinyl too. If you're interested, let me know. But it's just sort of a best of for them, which him fans will be into, and a little box of best of Bill Bruford. And this is the Winterfold and Summerfold years. If you're into like Bruford's solo work outside of is proggy, or well, I guess it's pretty proggy actually too. But if you're into Bruford and you like maybe Yes, or I don't know, see, did the Anderson, Bruford, Wakeman and Howe thing at one point. Okay, and then so that's really it for new releases. Was that enough? I'm kind of pushing again to record lengths. My recommend for the week. So next week, November 1st, first new Cure album in 15 years, Songs for a Lost World. I can't wait. It's going to have 8 dirges. I know they're dirges. They're songs about, his father dying, his brother dying, his life ending. And he said something recently in an interview, Robert Smith, about how he loved albums like Blood Flowers and Pornography and Disintegration because they're all like sort of, and this album, because they're all sort of one mood type albums. And I get that too. I love those albums for that reason. But I thought the album that I'm going to recommend is an album that I love for the opposite reason. And that is Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me from 1987. Now, they have an album called Wild Mood Swings, which is basically Wild Mood Swings. And I think one of the things that for me make The Cure really special, if I go down the list of bands or artists that started out as one sound and ended up somewhere completely different, or did a variety of sounds, whether it was David Bowie or Goldfrapp, I don't know if people know them as much, Talk Talk, or bands that started out like the Beatles, started out one way and ended up totally different sound. Scott Walker, Kate Bush, Depeche Mode, a band that started out like very twee synthesizer band and now is sort of more gothy and dark. Tom Waits is somebody who kind of started more piano bar and ended up like this really gruff sort of like character driven artist. Ministry started out pretty lightweight and they're pretty heavier, much heavier now. You got bands like Coldplay who started out being alternative rock and are now pure pop, so sometimes for the better, sometimes not so much. Joni Mitchell would be an interesting one where she started out very folky and got jazzy. So anyway, The Cure, I love them because they have such a wide range of sound. And this album, I think, encapsulates for me in a way just how much variety they can put into one record, really. And there's probably albums that do more than this even. But for what they were doing at the time in 1987, it starts with The Kiss, which is a kind of long, dark, brooding, guitar driven, instrumental, very distorted, psychedelic, um, strange, very kind of like repetitive in a way, followed by Catch, which is this like 2 or 3 minute beautiful little major key love song with this kind of sweet little organ going in the background. Then you're followed by Torture, which is dark and sort of like rhythmic type song. A lot of kind of this album for me had a lot of sort of heavy string keyboard kind of sounds on it. Followed by If Only Tonight We Could Sleep, which is a very sort of Eastern sounding song. It's got this kind of odd sitar kind of vibe with it, and these flutes, and it's a lot of these songs are very psychedelic. Then you'll get a song like Why Can't I Be You, or a song like Hot Hot Hot, that is like a funk pop alternative with Robert's wild vocals. I mean, you get Hey You, which is a song like kind of a very throwaway song. Just Like Heaven, a very beautiful sort of alternative pop song. And then things that are like very sweet, like One More Time, which is, or 1,000 Hours, which are just kind of yearning, like beautiful. And sometimes they focus so much on the instrumental that, there aren't that many lyrics or that many vocals, but it kind of says more when they come in because they are used to such a minimal aspect of it. Poppy stuff like The Perfect Girl, dark stuff like Cockatoos, very mysterious kind of song. I love that song. Or Shiver and Shake and Fight, the last two songs on the record that are dark and heavy, more reminiscent of some of their older stuff from like either Faith or Pornography or whatever. So I think this album, it's great because it's all over the place. It's a double album too, so it's very long. Not as long as some double albums, but it was a nice, brave move of the record company to let them do this. At this time, they had just done Head on the Door, which is kind of like a shorter version of this album in a way, because it does have the poppy stuff and the dark stuff. And so that kind of showed what they could do. They'd already shown it between albums where they went from one of the most depressing albums ever, like Pornography, to one of these like electro pop kind of like synth pop, Let's Go to Bed, and then Love Cats, which sounded like jazzy, sort of like funky jazzy, upright bass. I mean, Robert basically just does whatever suits the song the best, I think. And so that's one thing I really respect about The Cure. Never really took necessarily the easy road or the sellout road. And so again, I'm very excited that, after 46, 47 years, their latest record is coming out next week. The first one in 15 years. I think he's toiled over it quite a bit, whereas others, he was probably feeling enough record company pressure to say, oh, just put it out or whatever. So I think that's more of a labor of love. But anyway, so my recommend for the week, The Cure, Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me. And they loved it so much they had to name it 3 times. So, all right. Thanks, guys, so much for sitting through another long video. A lot of stuff this week. I know it's exciting. Next week, I think, is not quite as long. The first is smaller week with a big new release like The Cure. So take care. Have a pleasant weekend. Get out and vote if you can. Do it early. Avoid the lines if you can, or I'm sure there'll be lines. There were lines already. So, but maybe it'd be a little bit less stress than trying to do it on the day if you can manage that. So thanks, and we'll see you soon. Enjoy the last sort of remains of warm weather. It's been sort of warmer here than usual, so a lot of sunshine. We need the rain. Okay, take care. Bye.